using the four fields. So this would be maybe type 4 fields. Discovery. So, okay, that's what we're using now, based on what we learned this morning from Mark chapter 4, and we're actually going to look at Mark 1 and verses 14 to 39. Now, on your piece of paper, your pad, whatever you've got, you need to draw out this sort of thing. If I can get it as well. That's your piece of paper there, and so we want put there. There's our 4 fields, 5 parts. Then at the bottom, we're going to add some bits into the bottom, which I'll come to in a minute. So that's what this bit's for. So we've got entry, number 1. And you'll have more room because this pen is so big. I don't think I'm going to fit all this on, but hopefully you'll have more room on your bit of paper. 2, gospel. 3, discipleship. 4, gathering. And then 5, leaders. Okay, so we've got our 4 fields, 5 parts. At the bottom, we're going to add some other things that we're going to be looking for. We're going to look for where we see abiding, where we see Holy Spirit activity. We're going to look at persecution, and we're going to look for no place left. Okay, and then right at the bottom, we're going to put a couple of things: takeaways, what's it going to mean, and then action items. Okay, so that's how your page should look. Got that, everybody? Clear? And this is just based on the 4 field stuff that we've been looking at this morning. And we're now, you can do this in the Gospels, you can do this in Acts, you can see, did Jesus actually use this strategy? Is this something that is not just a clever thing that's been found in one part of the Gospels, but actually is there something that has a bit of weight in the way that Jesus did his ministry? So when your table's going to read the passage, you're looking for places of entry, so new location, and then how did they engage? Okay, so what new? Yeah, sorry.
Can you read out the bottom 2 there, please?
Yeah, the bottom one is takeaways.
Yeah.
And action items. So what is it you're going to take away from this study? What you learn, and what are you going to actually do about it? Okay. So 2 boxes at the bottom to make sure that we're actually doing something from what we're learning.
So what about the circle? What's in the circle?
Leadership.
Leadership. Thank you.
So the first field entry, looking for new locations, where they're going and how they're engaging with the people. We're looking field 2, where are they sharing the gospel? How they're sharing the gospel, we'll look for that. Field 3, is there any discipleship going on in this passage? Can we see where, in this instance, Jesus is discipling people? We're looking at how do they gather? Is there any examples of disciples gathering together in this passage? And we want to look to see if there's any leadership development that we see. Is there anywhere when we're reading that we see, again in the Gospels, Jesus discipling into leadership some of the people that he's working with there? And then make a note of any abiding. Is there prayer? Is there coming apart and that sort of thing. Is there any abiding in here? Where's the Holy Spirit at work? Where can we see the Holy Spirit ministry? Persecution. You'll often find persecution when we're doing this. Where do we find that in our passage? And where do we find that actually they are reaching a whole town, a whole region? Where's the no place left? We're looking for that as well. And then from all this, what are you getting from it? What's your takeaway? And then what's your action items? Okay. So let's have a quick example. Let me just start you off, and then you're going to need to read the whole passage. But I'll just start off with what we're looking for. So Mark chapter 1. Mark chapter 1, and I want you to read from verse 14 all the way to 39. But as an example, when you come to verse 14, it says, after John was put in prison, so there you see persecution. So you put verse 14, John in prison. Okay. Jesus went into Galilee, new territory. Verse 14, Galilee. Proclaiming the good news. His engagement was proclamation. That's how he engaged, proclamation. And so that's just one verse, okay? So is that going through it verse by verse? So read the whole thing first of all, go through it verse by verse, and see how much, more or less, you'll fill this in. And I'm going to run out of room on my board. But please try and put verse numbers down, because we can come back to it then and see where you are. And see what you find using these 4 fields to see how Jesus carried out his ministry in this sort of strategy. Any questions, guys? Is it clear?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
You've got half hour. Off you go.